is Verna V. Nickelberry with Ordinary People magazine, and we're here today with Renegade from Stankonia Studios in Atlanta, Georgia. So, Renegade, tell me, what does an audio engineer do?
I mean, your audio engineer typically would be somebody that would record A, your song, or B, they could mix the record, or if you kind of have a relationship with that particular engineer, they would be somebody that could possibly do both. They would record it and mix it. Or you can have an audio engineer that does something like your live sound for your concerts, because they're audio engineers. Or you might have somebody that does sound for TV shows, when they're doing voiceovers, or sound for movies, whenever we're doing post-production work, like putting the sound effects in movies or things like that. And, there's a wide range of things that an audio engineer can do.
Oh, great. Sounds wonderful. Sounds very interesting. Let me ask you this. What does it take to become an audio engineer?
I mean, your main thing, first and foremost, is attention to detail. I mean, because you can learn the technical aspects of any job. That's if I fix tires for a living, I can learn that, but am I going to learn how to actually please the customer? How am I going to learn what tires fit well for these particular vehicles? So, I mean, to be an audio engineer, first and foremost, you have to have attention to details, because the smallest thing can make a sound thrown off. It can make it sound, it can be the difference of a hiccup and a smooth going track. And even though it might be small, the natural psyche picks up on that. So if something doesn't sound real, the natural psyche is going to be like, wait, something's not right about that. Other than that, you just have to learn the ins and outs of your signal flows, learn whatever particular board that you're working on, learn whatever workflow it is of the facility that you're working in, just as any other job.
Did you have to go to school for this? This is just on-the-job training for you?
I mean, for me, it's a little bit of both. Of course, I went to school Full Sail, so shout out to Full Sail University. I mean, you don't have to go to school, but I would recommend that you do some type of background knowledge, so when you come in, you're not doing it fresh.
Oh, I understand. Would you consider this a dream job?
I mean, this particular job as an audio engineer, especially in these days of the industry, I would say it is what you make it. I mean, because it can be, the most beautiful thing that you've ever done, and it can be the ugliest situation that you're in, because a lot of people are trying to scale back with budgets, but the lack thereof. So it's kind of like I said, what you make it, what you balance it out to be. It's definitely something that I would want to do for the rest of my life, whether it's, no matter what genre I'm working in, no matter whether it's film or, music, I would definitely want to do it. So for me, it is a dream job.
So that would mean that you definitely enjoy doing what you do day in and day out.
Definitely. I enjoy doing what I do, but I don't enjoy dealing with who I deal with.
Understand. So I understand that you own your own entertainment company?
Yes, I do. Southern Eagle Music Group, LLC. So it's not just a name. It's an actual company. So, yeah, Southern Eagle is something that I created for myself, because I'm also an artist. And it also just gives me a little leeway to do other things that I want to do, because I deal with writers, I deal with a production team. So it kind of helps me have that one-stop shop, for whoever needs something that might come to me. They might like what I do, what I bring to a project, what type of energy I bring to, whatever it is that they're doing. So it kind of helps me move. The name Southern Eagle came from my alias, one of my many aliases, is the Eagle, where I usually say the Eagle, D-A. So the Eagle was one of my aliases, and I just wanted to see how can I make it sound more global and not just, coming from Mitchell Heights and Memphis. So I created Southern Eagle because, of course, American Eagle was already taken, and I am a Southern person. So that's where the name came from, Southern Eagle. So, whenever you see me, I'm hollering out SEMG. That's how we do it.
And SMG is?
SEMG.
SEMG is?
Southern Eagle Music Group.
Now let me ask you this, Renegade. Where do you find the time to do all that you do? You run your own company. I heard you mention writing You write your music, you write your lyrics. Where do you find all the time and the energy that you put into all of your projects?
Well, the energy, that comes from the next few months out. I always say that I'm borrowing energy from tomorrow, so I just have to keep on going. And, of course, I pray all day, every day for energy. I pray for the strength to get through what I get through. And as far as writing, I'm writing all day, every day. Anybody that has ever spent any time with me in the morning knows that the first thing I do is when I get up, I turn on the radio. So if I'm writing something for myself or for even another artist, I'm turning on the radio, and while I'm in the shower, I'm writing, because I usually don't write on paper. So that allows me the ability to write while I'm in the shower, write while I'm in the car, driving, write while I'm cooking, write while I'm eating, whatever I'm doing. If I'm just walking around, even if I was working a factory job, I could be writing, because actually when I worked at the Nike factory in Memphis, I wrote while I was moving boxes, because that's just what I love to do. It's what I do every day, and it's kind of a exercise. If you practice at it every day, it gets a little bit easier, it gets a little bit better. So when you do something naturally all day, it's nothing to do it when you do it on the spot.
Now, you said you write without it going on paper. How is that possible? I mean, how are you writing without it going on paper?
I mean, well, like I said, it's all mental. So I like to say writing without it being on paper, because when I tell people that I don't write, they tend to think that I hop in the studio and tell the engineer to turn on the beat and I just go. That's not the way to do it. A lot of young cats nowadays think that the first thing they can do is just jump in the studio and just go, and you're going to blow a lot of money that way. I actually take time to think about what I'm saying, and like I said before, it's an exercise. Mm-hmm. I wrote so much as a child, like having to deal with issues that I was dealing with as a child. I wrote all day, every day. I may have had stacks of rhymes that even when I went to college I found in closets, so I wrote so much to the point where at the end of the song I already knew the whole song by heart, because I was writing all the time. So it was kind of, like I said, an exercise, and I just kind of slowly but surely winged myself away from actually writing it down. It kind of, without having the margins, it's less poetic and more personal.
So we can assume, or we do know now, that everything that you write is to memory. So you don't write it on paper. So you create your lyrics as you said, in the shower. So that means as you're in the shower, you're creating a lyric. Are you able to recall those lyrics often, word for word?
Well, usually I say 90% of it I'm able to. But I've been doing it for so long. Like I said, I'm 25 now. I just turned 25, but I've been doing that particular exercise since I was about, I want to say maybe 15. So, of course, over the course of 10 years, I'm going to forget something because, I'm just human. But for the most part, I remember everything. And just growing up listening to a lot of music from my dad, or listening to Bach from my mom, there will be a lot of things that I have in my memory already. So it's like, even though I might forget it, I was always told that you never totally forget anything. So even though I might forget it in the forefront of my memory, if I hear it, it's in the back of my memory, so my mind recalls it. So all I have to hear is like the first beat of the track, or the first few words of my rhyme, and then I will automatically remember it. So I really never forget anything.
I had an opportunity to listen to one of your originals. I heard a little Spanish in there, so we can assume that you speak Spanish.
I don't speak Spanish fluently. It's definitely a language that I love. It's definitely a language that was one of my first languages. Being that my father was always in the field, in the military, and my mom was working a full-time job as well. She took me to nannies. So I had a few of my first nannies and babysitters. They were Hispanic, so that was my first language. I guess maybe that's why I can say I love the language so much. I'm not fluent. I took Spanish from 7th grade to 12th grade. So, after 8th grade, the start of 8th grade, my Spanish teacher, she just stopped speaking English to me. So, I kind of got acclimated in the language. So it's kind of like every so often if I'm rhyming, I might throw some of that into the actual song. And my name, Renegade El Rey, is a Spanish version. El Rey means the king.
That's very smart. Let me ask you this, though. Can you give us a few of your verses in Spanish or your lyrics in Spanish? Can you do anything off the top of your head?
I mean, I would rather not, being that I know that Ordinary People is also geared towards the Christian community, and I would hate to give anybody the wrong impression about me or what Ordinary People brings to the community. So, because there's a lot of hypocrites out there, and we want to let people know that God is real. God is somebody that works with everybody.
He definitely does. He definitely does. So, Renegade, where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Hopefully I would be, a better businessman, a better man in general, and, just loving life, pushing the company as far as it can go. Hopefully we never plateau. So we see a lot of positive things. I want to bring in more writers, bring in more producers, bring in more engineers, because as I get more into the business aspect of things, then I want to be able to take my hands off of the more intricate things.
Definitely. It has definitely been a joy interviewing you, Renegade El Rey.
Thank you for the time.
And we definitely appreciate it. As you can see, Ordinary People magazine, we definitely appreciate Renegade El Rey for his interview today. And as always, love, peace, and increase. Have a great day.